Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Coffee Klatsch. I am your host, Danny.
And I'm your other host, Artemis.
We are here where this is the place where we talk about life, yarn, and everything else in that order. Think of us as the people you can keep in the background while you're doing other things. We're kind of like mukbang without the food. We're
Yeah,
just here
I
to
will
keep
also
you
be doing other
company.
things. Y'all are going to be body doubling right now because I've got to do some makeup.
So we're here to keep you company. If you live alone, you got that sound, need that sound in the background. Don't turn on another rerun of Friends. Turn on us.
If you're trying to have us compete with friends that had 10 seasons, they get millions of dollars. I don't know if we're going to make it there. I love the
I said
audacity though.
another rerun. If you've already watched each episode 3 times, you don't need to do that again.
The
Listen
Friends
to
fandom is
us.
strong.
Yeah, I
I
know.
love the audacity though. Let's keep that energy.
I was gonna say a rerun of Gilligan's Island, but realistically, is Gilligan's Island in syndication anywhere these days? Probably not.
Where can you watch Gilligan's Island?
Exactly. I am using my favorite coffee mug that my son bought me, and my coffee creamer of the day. I'm drinking Nescafe Classico instant coffee. I am not a
Ooh, that's so
coffee
yummy.
snob. I like the fancy coffee when I am out somewhere, but at home it's just easier to do instant. I don't care what people say. It's just
And
it fits my energy limits. So Nescafe Classico with French vanilla creamer. What you got, Artemis?
I'm being a little goblin and drinking leftover Burger King Sprite from yesterday that I put in the fridge.
Well, at least you put it in the fridge and didn't let it sit out.
It has almost no fizz left, and my daily medicine makes it taste flat.
Yay! So since Artemis has a hard out today because she has something lucrative and money making to do, which this is not, let's go ahead and get started. So, what's going on? You got some life stuff to talk about?
I probably do. What's on my list? Oh no, don't start swiping things. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh yeah, I can go over my life stuff real quick. I went to the eye doctor, and the eye doctor is like, "Hey, yo, that medicine you've been taking not really working, so you need to go see an ophthalmologist." And I'm like, "Who's gonna pay for this ophthalmologist?" And he's like, "Haha," laughs in American. So I've got to figure that out to make sure that I don't go blind because I need my eyes for things. And we are still on paycheck watch 2023 from ETSU. I called her
I
the
was
other
trying to
day.
remember what that ETSU was. I was like, is ETSU a new disease she hasn't told me about? Did she say she come down with something?
Yeah, the doctor has diagnosed me with unpaid work. Um, I so for those of you to catch up everybody, I went, did a henna job at ETSU, charged them my hourly rate because my high hourly rate because one, it's the university paying for it. They got money. They charging people out the butt. They got money. Two, I had to drive an hour to get over there and an hour back home. So, and I worked for 8 hours, like solid. I worked 4 hours, had a break, 4 hours, worked 8 hours. So they owe me about $600. And I called the lady who hired me 2 days ago, 3 days ago. Um, and I called her at like 4:20 or 4:21. And I was like, oh no, I first called and left a message. She didn't answer. And so I called her the next day and was like, hey, I'm trying to be polite because I would like to get this job again because that's a good bit of money. And so I was like, hey, I just wanted to check up and see because I have not seen the money. So I wanted to check and see if it's going on your end or do I need to check the bank on my end? Definitely not my end, but I'm trying to be polite. So
Uh-huh.
I'm like, hey, do I need to check on your end or do I need to call my bank and check on my end? I'm trying to see what's going on with this paycheck. And so she's like, oh, okay, I'll call the financial people and I'll get back to you. And then she immediately called me back. It was like, oh, I didn't check the time when I told you I'd call you back. They actually close at 4:30. And so I'll have to call you back tomorrow. It's been 3 tomorrows. I have
Oh
not gotten a call.
no.
Yeah, so I need to, but I've just been busy, so I haven't been able to call her because I work overnight, and so for me, I need to be able to call her before like 4 o'clock, which is not when I'm awake because I work overnight.
Uh-huh.
And so I've got to figure out how to finagle my schedule because I can't call her on the weekends, can't call her on Monday, which is my other day off. Can't call her on the weekends, can't call her on Monday. So I got to figure out which one of my work days am I going to sacrifice my sleep so I can wake up and call this lady and hopefully get my money.
Oh no. I was hoping you'd gotten paid by now.
No, and it's even more frustrating because what happened to black people supporting black businesses? Because she's black, and I'm like, come on,
Oh
come
no.
on.
Oh no. Oh no.
Like I know she's got. Oh, not my headphones. I might have to switch and grab my other headphones before this call is over.
You
But
can't do that.
I mean, I'm gonna have to.
Oh
Ooh.
no. Oh no.
But yeah, that's what's going on with me. So I'm trying to get things straightened out and trying not to go blind.
Well, we don't want you to go blind.
I don't want me
That's
to go blind either.
that's not cool.
Mm.
Blind is not cool. Okay, well, I don't think my new menopause supplement is working
Why not?
because I at first I thought it was okay, and then I'm starting to feel some hot flashes start to peek through. At first I was trying to say, "Oh, well, maybe it's just hot." And your brother told me, "Yeah, it was kind of hot in here today." So I thought, "Okay, it's not me." This was last week. And it's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, it's not me. It's just I'm just kind of hot." But then I started feeling them again while I'm confused because every thermometer, like, you know how you have on your computer, it tells you in your, well, maybe not on your computer, but the update to Windows 11 or whatever it is, they put in the bottom bar what the temperature is. And I have the temperature app on my phone, and I
Hmm.
have a temperature thing on my TV so I can check the weather from wherever. And also we have, all the AI devices in the house, the Alexas and the Googles, and they can tell me, you know, "Are you shaving more of your eyebrows?" Oh god.
I'm just shaving off the bit that grew back.
Okay, I'm gonna pretend I don't see it.
Sure. That's why I'm muting because so you don't hear the clippers.
But
Continue talking.
but anyway, all for the past week, all of my devices have been telling me that it's below 70 degrees, and I don't usually start feeling. Ever since I got MS, my temperature of comfort is like this narrow. Okay, so if it is higher, then as soon as it goes below 70, I'm cold. Okay, as soon as it goes up above like 75, I'm hot. So I have like this much room to be comfortable.
Hmm.
Okay. And so it says it's been below 70. So I thought why am I still starting to feel these occasional hot flashes? But your brother was like, no, it got up to 70. Your stuff is wrong. You're fine. And so I felt, okay, I'm fine for a couple days. But then 2 nights ago, your father says, no, it's cold in here. And he's in his blanket. And
He's usually hot.
I'm sitting here fanning. Well, since he had the, weight loss surgery, he doesn't
Oh,
get
is
as
he
hot. He doesn't
cooler?
get as hot. That's been several years now that he doesn't get as hot as he used to.
Well, I have not been at the house.
That's right, you have not. So anyway, long story short, short story long, as one of my favorite TikTokers says, I am I'm probably gonna try to switch to because I checked Walmart and they have my original formulation back
Hmm.
in stock. So I'm gonna, even though I'm not out of this current formulation, I'm gonna go ahead and buy some more of the original.
Yeah, I'm surprised though, because didn't you say that the one that you're taking now is like stronger or has
Yeah,
more of the?
it has. twice. It has twice. Like the original one had, I think, like 10 milligrams of black cohosh, and the current one that I'm using now has 20 milligrams or something, like whatever it is. The new one is twice the black cohosh of the old one.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh, this will be fine. But it also has different side herbs, I should say. Like, because my original formulation didn't have green tea, didn't have yerba mate in it,
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't have soy something something that this one has. And my original one was just the black cohosh and some other magnolia or something that starts with an M that
Magnesium.
that supposedly helps with weight loss. It only had those two things in it, and it worked great. I didn't necessarily lose weight, but it worked great.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try to switch back to that one. So
Well,
that's
hopefully
all.
that works out for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. There's other stuff on our list, but I'm trying to just hit the interesting stuff and keep us within an hour.
Yeah, we can come back to
So
some of this stuff.
yeah, that is life. So since most of the people who subscribe to us subscribe for yarn, you got some or crafty things. You got any yarny or crafty thoughts?
Yes, let me send you. So I've started making the rainbow, the Pride reusable grocery bags, but
Mhm.
I've only had time to get two of them done because I'm sending you a link, or I'm sending you a picture, by the way, on Facebook. I've only had time to get two of them done because I have been working on commissions. And so
Mhm.
let me get this up. So I'm sending you the picture of one of the commissions, which you've seen already, but I'm sending to show to the people. I started on the baby blanket, which you should be bringing up right now if it sends. There it is. And then I also started, I had another witch hat that I had to do, which I am like 90% of the way through. I was trying to kind of rush to get it done before tomorrow, but then someone informed me, oh, we don't have farmers market tomorrow because the college campus that our market is having graduation, and so I don't have to be there. So I'm not gonna have to be there for another 2 weeks because I do every other week, so I don't
Mhm.
have to be there next week either. So I got some time because one of the people, the person that the Witch Hat Commission is for, I meet them at the farmers market, and so because they're another vendor, so that can hold off and be fine. But I
Okay.
got that. Hmm? Oh, are we
My,
having issues?
no, my brain is empty. I can't remember how to do a single crochet. It has been so long since I've had to do one.
So long.
It has been so long since I've had to do
Insert
one.
hook. Yarn over. Pull through. Yarn over. Pull through both loops. What are you doing?
Okay, wait a minute.
Also, you're
Where
supposed to be bringing up my picture, ma'am.
I am trying to bring the picture up. I was trying to download it so that it would
You were doing too much over there, apparently.
I was trying to download it so that it could I got to get these Traders episodes out of my way. I was trying to download it so that I could see it better, but I guess I'll just bring it up in
You've got far too much going on
I guess I'll just bring it up in
in
that
Messenger.
that thing. Okay. Keep talking. Why are you not talking?
Because I am doing eyebrows. I'm considering moving the camera over here so that you guys can see better what I'm doing. Because it's over here, it's real washed out. I might try that. Give me a sec. Let
Okay.
me finish this eyebrow. And you
Oh,
guys can see just the ridiculously terrible way that I do my makeup. Hey, that's on the ultimate
the
in
incredible sweater
incredible.
machine.
Dang, I keep wanting to call it ultimate soda machine.
Yeah, because in England it was called Ultimate, but when they brought it over here, they renamed it to Incredible because Americans just have to have their own stuff. So it but most of the instructions you'll find out there will say Ultimate Sweater Machine, but it's for the same machine.
Yeah, I just
So
look up Bond knitting machine because that's
Yeah.
what it is. But yeah, so I am using the incredible sweater machine that my father bought my mother in 1999, which is how I advertise it every time someone's like, "What are you doing?" Um, and it's working out really
Was it
smoothly, actually.
1999?
That's the last date that I remember you giving me.
Are we sure? Your sisters were 2.
If they were 2, 97, 98, 99, yes,
Okay.
99.
If you say
But
so.
yeah,
I'm old and can't remember things. So how's the blanket going?
it's going pretty good. That is, I literally took that picture before I walked into the room today. So that's where it's at. I just got some clamps from Lowe's the other day so I can roll up the bottom weight and then just clamp it in place.
Mhm.
And that way the weight can keep hanging on it so I don't accidentally pull off any stitches because I was working on it the other day. I was working on it at night, which it's going very smoothly. Like when I saw other people using this machine online and stuff, they were having to like like
Yeah,
pull
that's
and having
how
a
it
hard
worked for
time.
me. That's why I stopped using it because it was I mean, once you get it going smoothly, it's fine, but for me, it would be like I'd get 5 rows going and then stitches would fall off or it would skip stitches or it'd be ka-chunka chunka or it was like,
The only issue that I had was when I first did it, I lined something up wrong, and so I couldn't swipe for my second row. And then I just redid. I took it off, redid everything because it was only the second row, and it was all my practice yarn. So I took it off, redid it, and it was going pretty smoothly. And so I was like, I got this. I have the audacity. Let's go. And so I put my baby blanket yarn on there, and like every maybe 30 or 40 rows, then it'll like at the beginning and I'll have to kind of like baby it across. But most of the time it's just chink, chink,
you're so lucky. I'm glad it's working out for you.
it,
I'm
it,
glad.
it's been
It
this so
makes me feel
smoothly.
happy too because it was sitting in that closet for so long, and every time I would pass by it, I would feel guilty because it was you. You somehow I imagine your father does not feel the same guilt because gifts that I have given him have literal layers of dust gathering the top of them.
We got
Okay, I
Ronald,
bought.
time out. We got Ronald saying hello, and he says, I cannot stay today because I have a house guest from Ecuador. Go and entertain your house guest, Ronald. Thanks for swinging
Yeah,
by.
no need to hang with us. We're just doing a short show anyway because she's got to go make some money. It's the first market of the month, and this is a real lucrative one for her. So we're not going to be here long.
Yeah, I got my first Friday market. I got to peace out after this.
But thanks you for stopping in and saying hi.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I saying, dear?
You're
What were
saying
we talking
that he does not feel the same kind of
about?
guilt
Oh,
about gifts?
about gifts. I there are gifts that I have given him that have been sitting there for ages that he never uses. And he'll say thank you politely because he's a polite man. He grew up with manners. But then they'll sit in the closet and he'll never use them. Never, ever, ever use them. Never, ever, ever, ever use them. You
That's funny.
know that our Netflix subscription was a gift to him for Father's Day, but we all use it more than he does.
He doesn't use the Netflix. What does he
He,
watch his stuff on?
I mean, he does now, but there were years where especially when we were doing the before they had the streaming and it was all discs that came to the house,
Mm-hmm.
we got more discs than he did, even though it was his gift. And I held back not getting discs because I was like, okay, this is his gift. But then it was just sitting there and we were paying for it month by month. I bought him a $200 foot massager for
Oh my
Christmas.
goodness.
And it sat in the box for 2 years until your brother finally opened it
I would have busted that thing
and
out right
used it.
away. A foot massager?
Yes. Because he has his feet hurt for work. And then your father
Mm-hmm.
finally used it and he said, oh, yeah, it works nicely. And then I haven't seen him use it again. Your brother has used it more than your father has. So I am lousy at buying him gifts. That's how we started with
The Amazon
um
thing?
the whole Amazon gift list thing. because I am so bad at buying him gifts. So all of that is to say, I, unlike him, I feel guilty if I do not use his gifts right away. If he does not see me using his gifts. I wear some of the sweaters that he's bought me around the house just so he can see that I'm getting use out of. Even though they're better for like outside, but I wear them at
Mm-hmm.
least once or twice around the house so that he can see I get use out of them. I apologize if I haven't worn a dress that he's bought me that often because I don't leave the
Different
house,
people
so I
appreciate
feel
gifts
bad.
differently.
I know, but I I I just think that he doesn't, not that he doesn't appreciate, but that I'm bad at buying him gifts.
Mm.
Because when I buy him something he really likes, he really does use it. But then again, when he really does like something, like I bought him a Fitbit and he used it, found that he liked it, bought himself the next model up.
That he
And so that
One
he
thing about my father, he likes the new.
but he yeah, he will always buy himself the next model up.
Mm-hmm.
If I buy him something he likes, he will buy the next model up, and that's how I know he liked it.
Before we continue, tell me, is it horrendous for me to be this close to the camera doing my makeup, or does it feel like a get ready with me?
It feels like a get ready with me.
Okay. I wanted to know if I needed to
TRWM.
move the camera back.
TRWM.
GRWM to go vended a market, which, oh, that's another thing. I can't remember if I told you this or not. So this market that I'm vending at last year, because the market lasts basically all summer, last year, they paid my hourly rate, my low hourly rate, by the way. I charged
Uh-huh.
$55 an hour and I charged them 45 because I knew the person that was hiring me.
Uh-huh.
Um, they paid my hourly rate, which includes both face paint and henna for kids for the thing so that kids could just come up to the table, get face paint done, and get henna done. And I wouldn't have to like hunt down their parents, charge them, and blah, blah, blah. And they came to me this year and they were like, we actually want to try something different. They were trying to swing it in a way that they were trying to help me. But they're like, we actually want to try something different. We think that you might make more money actually if you charge the individual parents instead of us paying your hourly rate, because there's a chance that you could get more money because the rates are higher that way. And I'm like, what I said was, okay, we can definitely try it out. This is what I normally charge, so we can definitely try it out. What I internally said was, I'm not going to make nearly enough money because there are going to be parents who don't feel like it's a necessity to pay for their kids to get face paint and henna.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas previously, every kid was able to sit and get face paint
Is
and
this
henna.
is this for the first Friday market that you're doing today?
Yes.
Okay.
So now I have to charge the parents individually. I have to bring out my sign with my prices and everything. And inevitably, I'm going to have to turn away some poor, sad child saying, hey, it's different than we did last time. You have to pay money because they decided to change it. And I'm not framing this on me. I am fully framing it on them. I'm going to say they decided to change it. So now you have to pay me money instead of them paying me so that everybody can get it.
Yeah.
Because that's not about to be put on me.
Well, that's sad because this normally is a lucrative market for you, but also the kids who are used to being able to come and just walk up and get it done.
Mm-hmm. So I feel it that I'm going to have a crying child. I feel it. I'm going to have
Oh,
some sad child and
this is
and it's
gonna
going to
be a,
break my heart, but I can't
this is gonna be a
because
bad day.
it is because one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to have a sad child. I'm going to be really upset and I'm going to feel bad the whole time. Or I'm going to have a crying child. I'm going to give one person something for free and it's going to end up going bad
Mm-hmm.
because I'm going to end up losing money,
Mm-hmm.
essentially.
My brain is really going dead. I cannot remember how to do this single crochet.
Insert hook, yarn over, pull through,
But wait a minute.
yarn over, pull through both hooks.
So I need to put a slip knot on here first before I start.
What are you? Let me put my glasses on. Mother, you taught me how to crochet. What are
I
you doing?
know, but I'm not used to normally the yarn is already attached. Okay, I'm attaching a new yarn to this project, and
Okay.
it's saying do a single crochet is the first stitch in this
Yeah.
in the
So
top of this other stitch, and my brain is just my people. I really do know how to crochet. I really do. But for some reason, my brain is just shorting out. I think because I'm trying to talk and do this video and do this at the same time, my brain cannot figure out how to join this
so
yarn to the project with a single crochet.
so what I would do is just follow my exact instructions. Don't attach the yarn to the hook yet. Literally put the yarn in, yarn over, have a tail left over so you can like tie it off or weave in the ends or
But
whatever.
so put the hook in.
Yes, insert the hook.
Insert the hook. I feel like such a baby. Okay.
Yarn over.
So put the yarn on my hook.
Okay, and then pull through so you now have a loop and the tail will be hanging on the wrong side of the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Okay, and then just yarn over
Yarn over. Okay.
and then am I thinking wrong? Oh, yarn over and pull through that. Sorry, I'm trying to, without having it directly in front of me, it's hard to see. So yarn over and pull through that. So you just yarned over and pulled through one loop, right?
Right.
Okay, so now you've attached it. So now just do a single crochet and don't count that first stitch.
Okay.
So the yarn is now attached to the project, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now just do a normal single crochet.
Okay. All right.
The student has become the master.
Whatever. Okay. So any other crafty stuff we need to talk about?
Not that I can think of. I've got, oh yeah, I apparently am doing repairs now. Which I kind of joked about the other day when I was darning my sock, which I hate these makeup sponges that are like these little Q-tip things because I try to keep light colors together. So like green on one side, black on one side. So I'm not like mussing up my colors and everything. But there's too many colors in the little dollar store palette for me to do that. Um, anyway, so it started off the other day when I was darning that sock on camera, and I went to market, I think that next day, and ooh, I don't like this gold. We're gonna find another gold. That's ugly. I went to market the next day and not intending to do repairs because you were like, I mean, you had said something about like careful getting into repairs because it's not like you're not super skilled with this. You said something motherly, and I was like, sure, okay. And I went to market. Ooh, I like this gold a lot better. I went to market, and my friend Michelle, who I previously made one of those witch hats for, her puppies got into the witch hat. She has puppies, and they had torn, like, so you've seen the witch hats before. They had torn a hole about this big into it.
Oh no.
And so I wasn't planning on like darning anything, but I had, because I was making those bags, I was going to sit and make some bags while I was waiting for customers. And so I had I had like a yarn needle and everything on me at the time. And so so she handed me the hat intending for me to take it home and work on it back at the house. But I was like, well, I've got it here. I might as well just do it. And then I don't have to take anything home and try to remember it. And so I sat there for the first like 20 minutes of market working on that, and I got it done. And it looked pretty good. I just did like a cute little, like I did it similar to the way I did my socks, where there's kind of like a visible like cross color patch. And the hat was like pink with a big purple stripe in it because that purple was a yarn that she had. It was like a merino or like an alpaca or something that she had. And I had gone out and gotten some wool to go with it for like more animal fiber or whatever. And so but I couldn't find that purple that matched. And so I got pink. And so it's pink with a big purple stripe in the middle that was her yarn. And so I just got my pink and purple cotton that I had, because that's the only thing I had on me. And because I'm not going out to buy any more wool. Not for a repair job. And so I just like patched it up with a little like checker pattern like patch that I did. And she said it looks like she's just gonna wear it like on the other side, so it's kind of on the underside. But she was really happy with it. And so while I was there, some people were asking what I was doing. Some other vendors were asking what I was doing. And so now I've got someone is supposed to be bringing me a sweater to fix the sleeve of a crocheted sweater to fix the sleeve of, and then somebody else they were wearing dungarees, but the
Mhm.
dungarees are like
Mhm.
they just barely fit. Like they have the strap pulled all the way out, and it's
Uh-huh.
still like a little just a little short for their torso because they have a long torso. So
Mhm.
I don't know where to look because I see that you are up here, but my camera is right here. But so they're asking me, so I'm gonna see if I can find a strip of see if I can find not a strip, see if I can find a length of elastic, and I'll just put
Mhm.
some, and I'm just gonna put like a strip of elastic on like where the normal elastic for the dungarees meets. That way
Mhm.
it's got a bit more like 2 inches or whatever, just so it's got a
Mhm.
bit more stretch, and then they can adjust it as needed. So apparently
Mhm.
I'm doing repairs now is the tall and short of that, because I was just fixing my friend Michelle whose hat was torn up. I was just gonna fix hers just like because I like the hat. I'm happy that I made it, and she's
Uh-huh.
my friend, and she's like, I finished it. She's like, how much? And I'm like, $10. It
Was
took
she
like,
was she fine with that price?
yeah, she was okay with that price. She paid it right away. She's like, okay. It only took me like 20 minutes.
Okay.
So
Why
apparently,
am I this was the wrong I thought this would be an easy project to work on with while we talk. But now I'm sitting here trying to remember how to do a triple crochet.
stop. Please do something else. Please, Nick.
I have nothing else to do. I'm sorry. Speaking of which, our cozy hoodie is still on hiatus.
Oh,
Of
I
course.
see it's literally on the floor right
I know
beside me.
mine is sitting in a chair, right? I'm pointing this way, over this way. Mine is
Over
sitting
by the
in the chair.
closet.
It's been sitting there forever. But I
Ooh.
so I was so I was you started making that baby blanket, so I started thinking, well, that's listening to you talk about it, and you called me and asked me some questions about how to use the sweater machine and everything. That was just enough because I have been not really in the mood to do anything crafty. All I wanted to do was color. But that made me feel guilty because we do talk about yarn on these videos.
You cannot even see this.
I can see it and it looks nice.
Okay, it doesn't look too chaotic.
No, it looks nice. I
Okay.
think as a glasses wearer, you have to go a little bit above. At least that's what I learned back in the 80s. You
Mm-hmm.
have to go a little overboard if you wear glasses for people to actually notice your eyeshadow through
Yeah,
your glasses.
that's part of why I really love these huge frames because you can see so much more of my face under
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is
But
that.
all I was in the mood to do was color. And so I felt guilty about that, but you talking about that baby blanket and stuff just kind of jogged me back in the mood to work on a blanket. But as we discussed last Sunday, I pulled out the blanket I was working on, which is for, your cousin's baby.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized that I didn't like it. I think I would like it if I had done different colored yarns, but using
Mm-hmm.
the variegated yarn, you couldn't really see
Like the
the
patterns and
different
stuff.
because what I was doing, for those who are new here or don't remember, I was doing a mile a minute blanket pattern that had been a monthly crochet along with Jada and Stitches, which I need to write that down, by the way, because I'm supposed to be writing down anything I may have to link. So I'll put down the incredible sweater machine just in case nobody's ever seen one.
Go out, find one for yourself. Live the
Yeah, you can
adventure.
probably find them at the Goodwill for $10. Even though Daddy paid 100 and some for mine, but
Mm.
Jada and Stitches. Yeah, it was a mile a minute blanket that she was doing as a monthly crochet along, and all of it's still up there. I mean, you can buy the pattern, or you can if you're on a budget, it's more cost effective to um just follow the videos and learn the
Mm-hmm.
stitches from the videos because I mean this is how she makes her living, so I do not begrudge her making her living, but I cannot afford to pay $40 for a pattern because it's
Yeah.
like you end up spending because she's charging $3 per stitch, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So and there's 12 stitches to make the 12-month long pattern. So anyway, so I was crocheting, but that's neither here nor there. I don't begrudge her money. I don't begrudge anybody their money. I just that's not where I put my money right now. But I was doing it and I liked it, but I was using a variegated yarn and you can't really see the difference between the stitches. That's one of the things with variegated yarns is that for me anyway, a lot of times they look very pretty in the skein,
Mm-hmm.
and but then when you get them home, it's difficult to find a way to use them that takes advantage of either either the yarn is pretty but you cannot see the stitch pattern, or or you can see the stitch pattern but it makes the yarn look muddled.
Mm-hmm.
It's
I
very
want
difficult to find something that works just right. I mean, and I've done a couple patterns where I've matched the perfect variegated with because some of them have longer, what they call longer.
colorways.
No, there's a word for it where
The stretches of color are
the,
longer.
the stretches of color are longer, but there's a word that knitters use that I can't remember. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, and so I sometimes I've had luck matching the right variegated with the right granny square or the right hat pattern or whatever. But right now, this variegated that I'm trying to use, which is Red Heart Mexicana, which I really like because it is very much a rainbow yarn. Um, and I want to use it with black as an accent. And so, but just this particular pattern, I lost interest in it
You could
because
always make some witch hats.
I couldn't see the difference between them, and so I
Mm-hmm.
went looking for a different way to use these two yarns together, and I think I found the right pattern. It's called the hexagon pieced star blanket.
Okay. Are you pulling it up?
I could,
I'd like to see.
if you must.
What else are we here for if not to show the people?
I
Also, while
can.
you're pulling that up, speaking of variegated yarn, I've really been wanting to try those like fancy color pooling things where you take the variegated yarn and you like plan out and you make a pattern so that it like the colors all kind of pool together in
Uh huh.
splotches. But that's far too much math for me. You have to do so much like calculating of the length of the things and like and a bunch of different I watched I watched like two tutorials on how to do it and I was like no, this is not for me. This is not my thing.
I'm trying to tell this thing to go to something else and it's not listening to me. Okay, we'll do this.
I don't know how I feel about this eyeliner, but we are going to go with it because I don't have time to do anything else.
Okay.
Right. Ooh, let me get my
So this
glasses on.
so this is it.
Oh, cute. So you would do black where the white is, and then the variegated yarn where
Yeah.
the like star shapes are. Okay, I like it.
Yeah. See, it's gonna be this is how it's gonna look when it's done.
Ooh, I like it.
So it's not gonna be a total square but or circle, but I hope it's I originally, I'll be honest, I originally was drawn to it because I felt like the number one, I was hoping that the variegated would look good as the stars, but
Mm-hmm.
also I was hoping that when I read the pattern or looked at the pattern and saw that it only takes um 19 stars to make
Ooh,
this pattern. I was like,
not
oh,
bad.
19.
Mm-hmm.
That means I might get done with it quick. But of
Yep.
course, I overestimate how quickly I can stitch anything. And
But 19 isn't too many.
I started this. I started this on Monday, and I thought, oh, by Friday I'll have at least two or three of these done to show on the screen. I haven't even finished the first one. Okay,
Mother.
that's what I'm doing right now because by the time I finish working and sit down and pull up the TV and stuff like that, and then am I going to color? Am I going to do something else? Blah blah blah. I end up I basically this week anyway, I ended up spending about an hour, which is as long as it took me to watch an episode of Traders before we went to bed. That's all the time I spent crocheting. And I think I could do it faster once I start my second one because the first one is always learning how to
Learning.
learning how to
Yeah.
read the pattern. But this is where I am right now.
Ooh, let me get my glasses. Hang on. Okay, cute.
So I'm just now. Let me pull my hook out. Good lord.
So are you getting
I'm
so
just now starting the black.
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. So do you like just do the black and connect them as you go, or do you make a bunch of squares, border them in black,
I
and then
wish it
connect
was
them
connect
together?
I wish it was connect as I go. I was looking for a pattern that was connect as I go, but this isn't really it, but c'est la vie. This is more, make a stack of 19 stars and then put them together.
Yeah,
But
that's the thing that has steered me away from doing any kind of granny square thing because I don't want to have to put anything together. I want to do the entire project all at once and then maybe have to weave in some ends.
yeah.
I don't like having to sew pieces together or
I
connect
don't
pieces.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. So because this one pretty much just says, choose one star as your center, arrange all the hexagons around it, and join the sides with your favorite lacing stitch.
Mm.
So it leaves you to decide how do you want to join these.
What if I don't have a favorite lacing stitch?
I sure don't. But which I probably will either crochet them together because that tends to be easier for me. And I'm toying with the idea of maybe doing black and then using more of the variegated to actually lace it together. We'll see
Hmm.
how that looks.
Ooh, I
But
need to put on some cream. My forehead is dry.
but yeah, that's the only thing that I'm working on and this is all I've got so far. But like I said, the star part, once you get used to it, I think the next one I could whip up easy because it's
Mm-hmm.
basically you do the center spoke and then you do cluster stitches in each of the which is like three double crochet, chain, three double crochet in each
Mm-hmm.
of the spaces. And then you just double crochet your way around. Then you get to a space and you do another cluster stitch.
Yeah, that's not too bad at
So
all.
so that's easy to memorize.
Uh huh.
And that but now I'm up to the part where it's like I've got to do two single crochet, two half double crochet, two double crochet, and then two triple crochet, and then skip. So I'll probably memorize that too after, but right now I'm having to look and see what am I doing. So I think the other ones I'm hoping that by next week I shouldn't even say this out loud because I'll be cursing myself. But
Think of it as putting it out into the universe.
I'm hoping that by next week I should have at least 5 of these done. That's
Yeah, that
that
sounds reasonable.
that sounds reasonable, but because I feel like it'll go faster now that I know what to
Mm-hmm.
do. And tomorrow is a Saturday. But see, I also have some, for my CPC certification, I have to do continuing education units.
Mm-hmm.
And so they give you 2 years, so you have to turn them in every other year, not every year. So I'm down to like my last 17, I think, that I have to do, or 19 that I have to do. And I found a course. Normally, you can either get them here and there for free, one CU at a time. But I found a
Mm-hmm.
course, a place that was doing a sale. Sometimes you'll find places that do a sale because they're trying to get you to buy some of their other things. I
Mm-hmm.
found a place that was doing a sale. It's May, so they were doing 8 CEUs for $10. So
Okay.
that's a good deal because an 8 CEU course is normally like 200, $300.
Oh my goodness.
So
That is a deal.
but I have to finish all the questions. I have to listen to the lectures and finish all the questions, and have them turned in before May 22nd. So that will probably take away from my time of doing anything crafting.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all the craftiness that we have. We have about 15 minutes. So what do you want to talk about in 15 minutes?
What do we have on the list? What do you want to? Oh,
What?
I know what I want to talk about. Actually, we're
Go
skipping
ahead.
right down to what have we watched. I watched two documentaries actually.
Uh-huh.
Um, one of them I will save for later. I put both of them in the thing. One of them I will save for later. But the one I want to talk about, I watched Class Action Park, which is about the Action Park theme park. I had heard like a little bit about Action Park, but and so
Mm.
that's why when I saw the documentary, I was like, oh, this is probably like this is interesting. I'd like to know more about like how this came to be and how they let this happen for so long. Insane. Absolutely insane thing. I recommend go watch it. It's not, and it's very much not, I think the only part that really was like kind of a downer because I was trying to find documentaries to watch because I have kind of steered away from like true crime stuff and
Thank you.
well true crime stuff that has murder. I like listening to like Scam Goddess and things like that where
Uh-huh.
like crimes happen but like no one dies first of all, or like hopefully no one dies, but then also like these scams, a lot of times these scams will happen to like rich people. So like people
Uh-huh.
who can afford to lose $50,000 or something. And so I'm like, let me find a documentary about fun crime. And Class Action Park was absolutely not that. There were definitely like people that got hurt and died, which is very upsetting. But they didn't talk about that until the second half of the thing. And because I wanted to know really about like the construction of the park. So if you watch like the first half of that documentary, it is so crazy the things that they got away with. Like they had a slide, a water slide. They basically like invented the water park, which is insane. But they had a water slide that was like so many foot drop down, and then it was a water slide with a loop de loop. That is not how that works.
Oh
That is
Lord.
not. And so they were having problems. So the kids would go down the water side with the loop de loop. They were not getting enough speed, and so they get like either part way up the loop and then slide back down, or they'd get all the way to the top of the loop and then land on the inside of the loop, and then they'd have to like
Oh
scoot their way
Lord.
out. And so this was like the angle that they had going down, and so they increased the angle that the kids were going down so they'd go down faster. And so they were
Ooh,
going down faster, and then they would like fly and hit the top of the loop before going
ooh.
down the other side. And then all of a sudden, kids, because the guy who made the park, whenever they made a new ride to get people to test it, he would take his teenage park workers and he'd be like, hey, anybody who goes down this slide, $100, brand new slide. Anybody who goes down the slide, I'll give you 100. And he would wait at the bottom with $100 bills and we give them 100. And so that's how they tested these slides. And so the kids were going through, this is just about the loop de loop. Like there's so many other crazy things, but the kids were going through the loop de loop. And at first they were kind of making it through and they're like, okay, we think we got it. But they did a few more tests. And then all of a sudden the kids were coming out with lacerations. And they're like, no one was getting lacerated before we increased the speed. What's going on? They opened up the top of the loop de loop. Kids who were hitting the top of the loop de loop because they had so much extra speed, their teeth were falling out and getting embedded in the rubber. And so the kids who came thereafter were scraping themselves up on those kids' teeth.
Oh.
Crazy. This man got away with
Oh
so
my
much. It was insane.
god. Oh my god.
It was absolutely, he got away with so much. Like, part of the reason that he got away with so many things, he did like money laundering where he would take his money and he would create fake LLCs. Like, so many people were like, you have to get insurance to be able to stay open. So he took his money and created a fake insurance company that would sign off on his stuff so that he could continue to do things. Like,
Oh.
absolutely insane. And then when people tried to sue him, he would never have any kind of settlement. He would always take it all the way to court because that's so much harder for the people, for the lawyers, for everything. And so it got to the point where the first time the police showed up, because they had some of the people who were kids and who worked at the park like interviewed in the thing. And the first time the police showed up and were like, hey, yo, where's your boss? We need to see him. We're serving him for court, blah, blah, blah. And then like after a while, they're like, hey, just so you know, we got another paper. He's got to go to court again. It's a thing. Like, crazy.
Oh my gosh.
So crazy.
Oh my gosh.
So that is definitely
Oh.
an interesting watch. It's like, and they don't show any like pictures of the kids getting hurt. They have like a very like cartoonishly drawn like approximation of things going, like the kind of thing that you would see when you're doing like a training video for a job and they've got that very
Uh-huh.
specific cartoon style. That is how they
Uh-huh.
draw it. They draw out like the slide and they draw out like the little teeth stuck in the guy. Like they don't show any like actual graphic imagery that I recall. I was also watching this while I was working on the blanket. So, but as I recall, they didn't show any like graphic images or
Oh
anything.
my goodness.
But it's a very interesting watch because he got away with so much stuff that he should not have gotten away with, and the park was basically run by teenagers.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, mine was well, we've got our last 10 minutes, so I'll go through my
Yeah,
last
go
two
ahead.
things. Okay, which are number one, quickie. I just noticed right before we came on today that they finally added the DJ to Spotify desktop. I know that
Ooh,
won't
nice.
matter to you because you don't really use Spotify on your desktop, but I use it on my desktop on the daily. And the way I've been using, for those who don't know, Spotify, I guess it's been about a month ago. It's hard to know these things because it feels like things get rolled out to different people at different times.
Yeah,
But my son told me about it about a month ago, I think, that Spotify has added this AI DJ that will go through it uses the algorithm just like the other um
like for you playlists and stuff.
yeah, just like the other playlists that Spotify does, like Discover Weekly and Release Radar and stuff, where they kind of look at what you've been playing and try to serve you stuff that you might be interested in. So this one does something similar, but it also gives you more of a radio experience because those other playlists just give you songs. This one, he'll play like three or four songs and then he'll switch up. He'll say like, okay, we're starting now with songs that you were really into last summer. And then he'll play like three or four songs. And then he says, okay, that last song was Dolly Parton. Now we're going to go for songs that are new to you that we think you might like. And then they'll play three or four songs. Or it's like, we noticed that you've been listening to Brenda Lee. So let's play you some Brenda Lee songs you hadn't listened to. And then they'll play you all Brenda Lee songs, like three or four songs. So it's cool. I like it. It's I feel like it's kind of limited or it's kind of like a playlist, although it doesn't look like a playlist because it doesn't show you what's coming up next. Like if you do a Discover Weekly playlist, you can look at it. You can pull up that playlist and see, okay, these are all the songs it's going to play. The DJ is not like that. You click on the DJ and there's no list for you to look at. So you're just kind of waiting for him to bring you stuff. But
At the mercy of the DJ.
I have noticed that if you listen to it, like I listen to it during my workday, if you listen to it for a few hours, it kind of starts back over. So it must be a list because
It
it
also,
starts back
I don't
over.
know if they've updated it or if it's the kind of list like your on repeat or your daily playlist where they change every day or change like every week or whatever. But because I was using it for like 2 days while I was at work, and it kept playing the same things over and over, or the same
Mhm.
like genres over and over. So it wasn't
Uh-huh.
always playing the same like songs over and over, but it was like he would always be like, and now here's some heavy metal, and now here's some musical stuff, and now here's stuff that you listened to last summer. And it would kind of repeat those like
Uh-huh. Those genres.
categories.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I stopped listening to it for a while because I was like, okay, I want to listen to something different. So I stopped listening to it for a while, and then I went back and listened to it like maybe 2 weeks later, and the genres had changed. There were some like new things, at least a couple of the genres had changed. So there were some
Mhm.
like new things that it was showing me. So I don't know if it like will repeat like that. I hope that in the future they expand it more
Mhm.
so that it's got more to like to work with, so I can maybe
Yeah.
stop listening in the morning, listen in the evening, and it's got like different stuff or something like that, because
Yeah, that's why I don't listen to it every day because I felt like it was there's another thing on here. I thought this was gonna be short, but it ends up not being short. But
oh, you're good.
there's another thing on here called um um Daily Drive, which they started a few years ago, which was meant to be um similar to the DJ thing, I think, in that if you're a person who wants to hear some talk in between your music, because it'll play like it'll start with a news show. For me, it's NPR's news update, which is like a 10-minute thing. And then it'll play three or four songs, and then it'll bring another newsy kind of podcast. So Daily Drive is pretty much music and news
Mm-hmm.
to kind of feel like radio. That was their other thing that they did to try to kind of feel like radio. But I did notice that even though the news things changed because it went for like with the NPR updates every hour. So it goes to whatever the most recent hour is. Like if I start at 4:30, it'll go for the 4 o'clock update.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so the news things change, but the songs would be the same in the same order if I listen every day. So
Mm-hmm.
I purposely stopped listening to it for a while so that it would bring in some different songs. So that I wasn't listening to the same songs over and over. Because sometimes it would play the same songs in the same order, or sometimes it would play the same songs, but it would mix up the order, but it was still the same
The same
15 songs
songs.
that
Yeah.
so it would change that. And I feel like this DJ is probably on that same kind of algorithm or timetable. So I try not to listen to it every day so that it has a chance to, you
To
know,
reset itself.
to reset itself. Because my daily mixes have started playing some of the same stuff too. And I realized, okay, I use all these algorithms too much. I need to go listen to something else so that it has something to refresh itself with.
Yeah, I've started listening to my, because normally I will listen to like I'll listen to like playlists that I've compiled and then my on repeat playlist all the time. But I've like I think I've messed myself up because now, because the on repeat playlist, it's based on, or at least I believe it's based on like whatever songs in the last like 30 days that had like the most listens that you've listened to or whatever.
Mhm.
And so now my on repeat playlist is kind of stuck because I've listened to my on repeat playlist so much that some of those songs are locked in and will not leave. And so
I
I'm
honestly,
like,
I've only listened to my since they started the on repeat. I think I've listened to on repeat maybe a total of 5 times over the years since they started it.
see, I love my on repeat because it's what I want to listen to.
But I'm scared that it's gonna just add the same songs over and over to all my other algorithms. So I try not to listen to the on repeat too much, even though it is songs that I like. What I've done to try right now to try to mix things up is that because at first with Spotify, I did kind of go through a phase where I made playlists and then I never went back and listened to those playlists. I
Mm-hmm.
made playlists that I thought I would want to listen to, but then Spotify started bringing in all these algorithm things like the daily mixes and stuff. So I never actually went back to our own playlist. So some of those playlists have been from 5 years ago, 10 years ago. So I started listening to this is just in the last month or so. I've started listening to some playlists that have been sitting there for a while, to just bring some different music back into my algorithms. Also, I started about a year ago, I made a playlist called Listen Later, where like I'll hear a snippet of a song in a movie or I'll hear a snippet of a song on TikTok or something, but I don't know where to put it, but I want to have a chance to listen to it again. So I'll
Hmm.
put it on this Listen Later playlist so I can see whether I really like it or if it fits on one of my other playlists.
Okay,
So
I
I've been
need
listening.
before we continue, I need help. So I'm doing, oh, it is washing it out so much. There we go. You can kind of see a little bit better here. I'm
Okay.
trying to decide what to do for my face paint before I go. I'm going to do like a crown on my forehead. Should I go with, this is rainbow. So very clearly rainbow. This is, it's like a dark purple, blue, light blue, and green, which I'm
Mhm.
wearing like yellows. And then you know the skirt that I'm about to wear. It's that green
Yeah.
and yellow one back there.
Yeah.
And then this one is all, this is like yellow on the end. It's been muddied by the green, but I'm gonna clean it up. This is like green and then it fades to darker greens. And then this darkest green is almost black.
Mhm.
What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of think the
I wish I
green
could,
one.
the
I kind of
darkest
think
green?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, I wish the camera did not wash because I'm in front of my window right now so I can see to do my makeup and it's like
Yeah.
washing everything. Ooh, I wonder if I pick up the camera if it'll show a better view. There, you can kind of see the purple now,
Yeah.
almost.
Yeah, I
You
still
think
think the
the
green I think still think the green one is better.
okay? Then I'm gonna. Oh, I broke it.
You're just sitting there wearing all my clothes.
Yup. Can you even
But
still hear me? Okay, there it is.
but anyway, what I was saying was DJ, they've added it to the desktop. So
Nice.
because I listen to Spotify during the day while I work. That's when I listen to it the most. So having DJ on and what I had to do before because Spotify has that thing where you can throw the music from one device to another as long as both the devices have Spotify on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I start the DJ on my phone because the DJ previously was just on mobile. So I start the DJ on my phone and throw it to my desktop. And that's how I've been playing it. But now I can just play it. My Spotify for some reason was acting funny the other day and kept saying it was offline. So I completely because I don't always turn my computer off every day, my work computer. So my Spotify ends up staying on overnight. But I went ahead and completely shut down my Spotify and I
Mm-hmm.
started it back today and all of a sudden DJ was there and I'm like, "Okay,
Ooh.
I'm not going to complain about this. If you mistakenly think that you are mobile today, we'll just take that."
But
So,
Spotify is making some crazy mistakes sometimes. Like when we play on Sunday game night and we try to do our listen party, and Spotify's like, "Sorry, this is only for premium members," and I'm like, "Do you know who I am?"
we've been paying for this for years.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've been here for an hour, and I know that you have to get ready to go for your gig. So, how about I close us out with one crazy shower thought, and then we'll head out.
Get it. Get
Sound
it.
good? Okay.
Sounds
Have
good.
you ever heard of the penny lick?
No, I have no idea. I saw that in the list, I think, and I was like, "What is that?"
Okay. Back when ice cream was first created back in the 1800s, okay,
Mm-hmm.
they would have street vendors, okay, and the street vendors down in the I'm gonna tell
My
you.
headphones died. Hang on. Ah. Oh my goodness. I want to hear what the penny lick is.
Oh
Hold
no, your
on. Hold
headphones
on.
died. Oh my
Oh my
goodness.
goodness. Get out of Bluetooth. Play out loud, please. Oh no.
Oh
Hang on,
Lord.
hang on, hang on. Hang on. The last 2 seconds are going to be terrible audio, so I can play this out loud. Say something.
I'm here. Can you
Why
hear
can't I
me?
hear you? Why can't I
Oh
hear you?
no.
Why can't
Oh
I? Oh, because the
no.
output's still in headphones. Try again.
Can you hear me
Can you hear me
now?
now? Ian, let's go.
Okay. Oh no.
Oh no, what?
Can you not hear the echo? Okay, it's gone now. It's gone
Yeah, it's
now.
probably because you're playing out of my speaker.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I've I was trying to see if I could pull up an image. But anyway, back in London in the 19th century, street vendors in the poor neighborhoods would sell ice cream for 1 penny. Okay. And what they would do is they had these cups, these glass containers that would make the ice cream look that would make it look like there was more ice you were getting more ice cream than you were actually getting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I'm trying to pull up a picture of it. Where is it? Okay, here, I got a good picture of it. Okay, let's see if I can share it. Okay. Stop that. Present that. Oh, that's interesting. On your forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
Ooh, gotta get
So
my glasses
basically
on.
so basically in the poor neighborhoods, they you see this glass, it has
It looks
some
like a shot
thickness.
glass.
It has some thickness to the bottom of it, so it kind of reflects in a way that makes you think that you're getting a lot of ice cream because that looks like you're getting at least a few spoonfuls of ice cream, but you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting enough that you can maybe lick out of that container twice. Anyway, this was out on the street. This was 18 something something.
Mm-hmm.
So past 1850. And if I'm getting the story mixed up, you can Google search and find the facts better than I can. I just remember the gross part of it, which is there were no like spoons or disposable plastic spoons or disposable cups or nothing like that. They would scoop the ice cream
Oh,
into
I
this
hate where this is
glass.
going. I hate where this is
They would
going.
hand it to the person. The person would lick the ice cream out of it because there was no spoons. They would lick the ice cream out of it. They would hand it back to the vendor, and then the vendor would swish it through some water and then put ice cream in it for the next person. Okay, that water bucket was not cleaned, and water was not like
Sanitize?
sanitized the way it is today anyway. So there was all kinds of tuberculosis,
Oh my
cholera,
goodness.
and everything else in that water.
This is why they were dying of diseases.
Exactly. That
This
water
and
that
like
water
bobbing for
was
apples. When I was a kid, I wanted to bob for apples so bad. And then I grew up and I was like, that's nasty. That's a bucket full of
yes.
spit.
Yes. This was a bucket full of cholera and but ice cream was new and everybody wanted to be able to taste it. So they just took it and got
But
their licks for a penny. They finally outlawed it in 1898.
oh my goodness.
But isn't that disgusting?
So gross.
So disgusting. So that's something fun and disgusting that I have given you guys to close out the show for
We
today.
both did something fun and disgusting today. Because I was talking about Action Park.
The penny lick. Can you imagine? I was listening to the history of ice cream on the podcast called You're Dead to Me. As a matter of fact, I can go ahead and link to the ice cream episode on You're Dead to Me. That whole podcast is fun because it has um it's a British podcast, of course.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my favorite ones are from like BBC. Um and it is you have the main guy and he always has one comedian and one historian and they pick a subject and they start it with like here's what we think you might already know about XYZ. And
Mm-hmm.
then the historian starts going through hitting some highlights and the comedian throws some jokes in there or like the
Oh. Are we losing signal? Hello?
when they used a penny lick and everybody licking out of the same cup before the historian tells everybody that of course they all got tuberculosis.
Well,
But so it's a fun podcast. If you like,
yeah,
I
I'll
like
definitely check that out.
history. I like history with a touch of humor to it. Just like my news podcast. I like the news podcast with a touch of humor to it. You were
Mhm.
worried about your hair today, but it looks really cute.
Thank you. I still kind of hate. I'm not a big fan of the half up, half down. Sometimes I really like it. Like this puff right here. This
Hmm.
puff is real cute.
Hmm.
This is probably the cutest puff that I've ever done. This puff is real cute.
Yeah, that's how it is for me with the half up, half down. It's like if I manage to grab just the right amount of hair and position that puff just the right way on my head, then it looks cute. Otherwise, it looks like a hot mess.
Mm-hmm.
But right now, yours looks really cute. So, folks, like I said, this was going to be a short one today because Artemis needs to go,
Paint some faces.
go secure that bag, as they say, as the kids say.
Secure that bag.
Secure that
Go
bag, as the kids
acquire
say.
that baggage.
Secure the bag. I I'm trying to be down with the kids.
Get out.
I know it always sounds wrong when I try to use slang. Even when I was younger, that was part of people always used to make fun of me saying that I talked white, but when I try to talk like black girls, I sound weird.
Same.
It doesn't come out of my mouth correctly.
Most
If
of
I
my
try to
like
say, if I
black
try to
slang
say
comes from talking to Isaac.
if I try to say something like, "Girl, you should have done da 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 da," that sounds so unnatural coming out of my mouth. I can't do it the way other black girls do it. It's just not natural coming out of my mouth. I enjoy it when I hear other people speaking what they call AAVE nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
But it just doesn't come natural to me. Anyway, she needs to go make that money, honey.
I do.
So we're gonna cut this short. Thank you for watching. If you have made it all the way to the end, please put a crown in the comments for this thing that's on her forehead.
I'm not done yet. It's gonna be better.
Yeah. Oh, she's still working on it, but we can't hang because she needs to zip out of here any minute now. So, but thank you for watching. Hopefully, we can talk about more fun, crazy stuff next week and keep each other company as we eat, knit, crochet, or drink, what have you. Drink coffee. Don't be making faces. Coffee. Coffee. But
Don't forget
have a
to
good,
like, subscribe, hit the bell.
yeah, like, subscribe, hit the bell, all that stuff. Maybe we'll get to talk about some games next week.
Yeah, because I played some games, so we will talk next
So did
time.
I. Peace out, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
I gotta hurry up.